Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Talk about reframing. Let's roll right into it, man.
Oh my gosh!
Welcome to the Impactful Engineer. We have 3 episode types. One is Steve and I get on here, we yell at you. One is where either of us get on here and we yell at you. And the third one is we bring a guest on and we yell at you. Those are the 3. How you doing, Steve?
A lot of yelling, Jacob.
That's how I like it. I know I sound all polished and very,
Oh yeah, you're very prim and proper
on the podcast. But let's bring a little bit of what everyday Jake is.
Yeah, no. Oh. All right, so last episode we brought up a topic about reframing. So we can give it a whirl and actually talk about reframing on this one.
Yeah, I think it's super important, Steve. I think a lot of people are missing the opportunity to make those connections with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is a small part of the game, small part of increasing your career acceleration and impact and making money.
Well, because you go through engineering school, you learn all of the facts, right? All the equations, the proofs, and why the things work the way they work. And so you come out of school and you go into the job as, hey, I know what's right technically. I know the why behind why this works. But how do you explain the how to someone and why it matters? And that's what we're talking about. You have to reframe it, right? You have to take it through their lens and give them the information of why they should care about what's technically right.
Where do you see this showing up for you, Steve?
Usually it's when I'm talking to either someone, well, actually it doesn't matter if it's another engineer or if it's someone who's not an engineer. It's usually more of the non-engineer types, but still when they don't understand what you're trying to say. And so you have to, hey, let me reframe this. And then usually you can ask them some questions, be like, what is important about this thing to you? And then you can reframe what you're saying to incorporate what they care about so that they understand, like, okay, why is this really important? Is it customer centric? Like, do they really care that this design needs to be this way? So that way, when the customer uses it, it works flawlessly every time and it's really comfortable to use. And all maybe the technical side is like, well, we are going to use this real soft cushion grip. Okay. Why do they care? Okay. Well, maybe there's a lot of vibration in this thing and it needs to be comfortable while you're operating it. Okay. You just reframed it. That's a very simple way of reframing something really quick. So that way they understand why it's important for this thing to have a soft grip. Yeah.
It's like someone using a certain tool. They have experience with that, right? And they have the things that they hate about it. And they're just like, man, when I use this, I'm normally using it for 2 hours. And then some feature that your engineers are coming up with, or that makes it through to the product, but also needs to be framed and communicated in the marketing. You hit that pain point, and instead of saying like, oh yeah, we've got this anti-vibration mechanism on there, and then you move on. It's like, yeah, you ever used your weed whacker for more than 2 hours, and then you put it down and it feels like you can't even feel your arms anymore, and then your back aches and all this stuff. Well, that's why we have the strap and the anti-vibration stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then now they care. Then it's a little bit different, right? Yeah. The same thing goes with like working relationships with your colleagues and stuff like that too. It's like the way you say things. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. And I mean, you've even given me some examples in the past of where you interview architects about like, hey, what is the thing that most pisses you off about electrical engineers?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you can reframe your pitch for your company about how you can be super effective for them addressing what they actually care about. And then now they're like, hey, this is pretty awesome.
And that goes with people that have experienced the way I work for years. They won't put it together. Yes, we've done this for years, and this is exactly why we do it. And here's the pain point we try to eliminate. And without the reframe, they'd have no clue.
Yeah.
So it's not just for trying to pitch something or lead into a new topic or convince someone of something. It's also for deepening the connections that you already have and the relationships you have already too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
So-
failing to come up with a concrete example here.
No, I got one right here.
There you
So,
go.
and disclaimer, AI helped me come up with this example.
Nah, I give a shit.
But instead of saying, we need to improve our tolerance stack up, you say, hey, we're spending 20% more time fixing preventable fit issues. We can solve that up front. Right.
Oh,
So
yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean? So
Yep.
you're taking the engineer's perspective and flipping it to the stakeholder's perspective.
Yeah, dude.
AKA what they care about.
You know how many times I've pitched social media to AEC companies that I've worked for, and how far behind most companies are with that type of content creation, and they just all scoff at it. We need to be doing engineering, not telling everybody about what we do and all this social content bullshit. And it's like, instead of saying we need to be doing more LinkedIn stuff because I see a lot of people doing LinkedIn stuff, they're like, no. You could say that, did you know that the average company that makes 2,000 pieces of content a year brings in 52% more contracts from their existing clients and adjacent industry partners and adjacent clients just because of what you put out? Something like that. I guess that's like an evidence based, but it's reframing. We're trying to do the same thing. It's just one will lead you to producing more social media content than the other one will.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually when you're speaking to leadership, what do they care about, right? It's risk to the timeline and stuff like that. And so instead of saying, this could be a potential design issue, we need to address it. If you just say it that way, they're going to be like, well, does it work? Okay, let's just go. But you could say, hey, there's a potential 3-week delay if it fails in validation. Okay, maybe they'll be a little more interested in fixing that problem because they can't afford that 3-week delay.
Then you can pitch. Then you can say what you're going to say before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a really short to the point topic, but that's great.
Yeah. I mean, you can go down the line of examples, but I think you can come up with your own. But the best engineers don't just solve the problems; they frame it in ways that people can rally behind them. And because facts don't just persuade, framing does, though.
Yeah, exactly. And we've touched on this before with, I think maybe it was like, your work doesn't speak for itself is probably one of the most popular ones that people hear all the time. And it's true. And this is kind of what we're talking about too, is you can take all the same activity for the last year, and then you're adding some of this reframing into it and trying to attach it to things that people actually care about. And the amplification of that work that you did over the year just is huge.
Yeah.
So think about how it applies to your career and your everyday interactions even now. See where you can sprinkle some of this in. Maybe you're having a hard time convincing your boss or leadership or somebody that, hey, if we fix this certain process, I mean, man, and it's something that repeats all the time, we would save so much money. And that's vague, right? You could break it down and say like, hey, look, we spend 2 weeks in production process for this design in this certain area every single job, and except for my jobs, the ones that I do, I get it done in a day, and I can show you how.
They're gonna be real interested.
They might be interested in that, especially if you tie it to the typical length of design for most of your standard projects. It's like, oh, we get the designs done in 2 months, so 2 weeks of that 8-week period, it's like what is that, quarter? Like, what is that? Yeah, so like it's a big chunk, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can take that 2 weeks to maybe a day. And these are projects I did for it, and I'll show you how I did it. Like, could I present this to the group maybe, instead of just saying we need to focus on making this part of the project better? It's like, well, yeah, we could focus on anything to make it better, and it might have an effect. Yeah.
It popped in my head that a great place that you're going to see reframing of things and where it's going to help you a ton is when you're writing your resume, right? You're not going to put, I designed XYZ. You're going to say, I solved this problem by designing XYZ, right? So you're going to reframe your statement in showing like what you accomplished or how much money you saved or whatever, insert accomplishment, right? So that's a great way to practice reframing. Like take your existing resume right now and go line item by line item and reframe each one of those bullet points to the highest impact of why the person reading that resume would give a shit about what you're saying, and do that over and over and over, and do it in your job, and it'll become a skill that just becomes natural, and you'll be able to be so much more effective in communicating why what you're talking about is so important.
Yeah, and then go through and do the same thing, but think about what would make this the most disinteresting, uninteresting, boring, cough cough, throw it into the trash bin resume or whatever, meeting, presentation. What would make this just everybody who cares about it? What would make this just terrible?
Vanilla.
Maybe there's no point in this, and I actually not am I only not interested. I'm actively get this away from me because this is so annoying. Think about that, right? And then just do the opposite. Yeah.
All right.
We should do that with our episodes, Steve.
Yeah.
What would make this so boring?
Yeah.
And just so distasteful that people would just turn it off immediately and tell people not to listen to it. And let's just do the opposite of that.
I think it would be a super monotone voice, and we would just keep talking, blah, blah, blah.
That's all we had to talk about today for the show. So we're just going to end it.
Yeah.
Okay. And, okay. Maybe.
All right. Let's go and wrap this up. If you learned something today, and I know you did, please share the show, leave us a review. And if you want us to talk about more of this kind of stuff or other stuff, you can let us know at questions@impactfulengineer.com. Okay, thanks. Bye.
I was just thinking about Ace Ventura in the monster truck scene. It just cracks me up.
No one wants to play with me.
Who wants to go off-road? And that part in the beginning where he just takes his sunglasses to his head and just stares out the windshield and then screams with his eyes rolled back in his head like he's just a devil.
Oh, man. All right.